All right, so I'm gonna start off with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This gives you a really good glow. It's not too heavy, and it's just a really good base when you're starting your makeup. So I'm actually gonna use the bronzer from this palette, this guy right here, and I'm gonna put that on my eyes just for a little bit of depth and some color. I wanna still have a natural look, so I don't wanna use a ton of product on my eyes. So I'm gonna use the bronzer. All right, so I'm going in next with my Makeup Forever. This is a color corrector that I got. They only have it in a few different shades. I don't know which one this is, but it's like the reddish orangish one. I still have not ordered my Hue Stick, the Live Tinted Hue Stick, which I have heard great things about. My sister has it, and so I used hers and it's really great. So I'm waiting. Actually, I don't know what I'm waiting on. I need to just order it. But anyway, in the meantime, this is what I've been using and it really does a good job. Okay, one thing to keep in mind about this product is that it is super concentrated. Like it's very, very pigmented. So a little bit goes a long way. You don't want to use too much because you will definitely come out with like a slightly orange undertone, especially if you're not using a full coverage foundation. So just something to keep in mind. Be really sparing when you use this. This foundation, you guys, is one of my absolute favorites. I've been using it since, I'd say about October of last year, and I literally am obsessed with it. I have been using it nonstop since then, and I highly, highly recommend. So I always use a beauty blender after my brush, just to kind of get a really seamless application. Make sure you don't look streaky anywhere. And just kind of even everything out. And the brush that I use is it's a Sephora brush. It's their Pro Foundation. It's the number 47. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my smaller brush. This is the smudge brush. It's from Sephora. It has really dense, tiny little bristles on it. The nice thing about this is it's such a subtle color that you can't really mess up with it. You can always blend it out and just start over if you need to. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my dose of colors. This is the Friendcation palette. You guys know that I am obsessed with this. I pretty much use this nonstop. Like every chance that I get, I will use this. So I'm gonna go in with the color Churro and just add a little bit in the corners, just for a little bit of dimension. Kind of work it into my crease a little. So I'm going in now with the color Just a Kiss from the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. I'm just gonna add a little sparkle to the corners of my eyes. And I also only put mascara on my top lashes. I feel like, especially when you're out in the sun, your makeup sometimes can start to smudge a little bit and run, and the last thing you want is your black mascara running underneath your eyes. So I only put on the top lashes. I think that it just gives it a little bit more of like a clean, natural look if you just have mascara on top. All right, so I'm going back in with my Becca, the Khloe and Malika palette. Wow, you definitely cannot see that. It's the Becca and it's the Khloe and Malika BFF palette, and it has the bronzer, a highlighter, and 2 different blushes. I'm gonna go in with my powder brush. Again, this is also by Sephora. I just like that it's a little bit fluffier. So I'm gonna go ahead and work that into my cheekbones. You just wanna have a little bit of color. Fake your tan, if you will, if you need to. And then I'm just gonna work it into my hairline a little bit. Just make sure it's nice and even. Blend it out a little bit and then work it into my jawline. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my fan brush next. This is Sephora. Again, I love their brushes. The highlighter in here is actually called Glow Up. So appropriate. So I'm going to focus the highlighter kind of over my brow bones, underneath my eyebrows, and on my cheeks. I'm going to go ahead and skip the nose and my Cupid's bow just because I want this to look a little bit more natural in daytime, and I feel like I want to just keep the highlighter to where the sun would naturally hit my face and kind of enhance that a little bit. So I'm going to go back in with a beauty blender, just give it a little tap just in case I might have left some lines. Just blend it all in. Alright, so that's pretty much it for my face. I'm going to go in with some red lipstick because 4th of July, obviously. The one that I have been using and loving lately is the Laura Mercier. This is in the color Fire. It's their Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick. It's kind of like a crayon. It goes on really smooth. It does not come off. It doesn't have too much transfer, and it doesn't dry your lips out either. So this is definitely a favorite of mine. I am really particular about reds that I use on my lips because if they're overly drying and your lips start to crack, or if they transfer and they smudge easily, you're going to have kind of a messy situation. So this one I highly recommend. I really, really like it.